Good morning and welcome to day 51, 1 Corinthians 10 through 12 of our 2790 series. And today we're going to learn how the truth can be found and can be solicited from both the Old and the New Testaments. Paul refers back to the nation of Israel, and he says that their history and the Old Testament serves as an example for believers, wherein we can see that something happened in the Old Testament, something historical, decisions that people made, what happened with their culture or with their nation. And that's meant to give us as Christians guidance and direction in our spiritual journey through life. And then Paul talks again about division in the church. And this time he says that communion is meant to be a unifying instrument that God uses to bring the church together so that it can function as one. The church should be able to rally around the cross and around Holy Communion as the source of power and strength and unity in its life. And yet the church has even allowed itself to see communion as a point of division, where the wealthy landowners would come and eat together, and they'd eat first, and then the slaves and the people who didn't have any money and those living in poverty who were working in the fields, they would come later, and there'd be no food for them. And Paul's actually rather abhorred that they've allowed themselves to take something as holy as communion and use it as divisive in their relationship. And then even going further, he says that each of us who are Christians, we've been given a gift of the Holy Spirit. And here in the Corinthian church, they've even taken the spiritual gifts that they've been given and used them to divide one another. And he uses the example of the gift of speaking in tongues. He says that some of you are expressing to others that you have this gift that is so much more wonderful than any of the other gifts that the Spirit has given to the church. And all you're doing is dividing the church. You're elevating yourself at the cost of other people. And this same kind of problem still exists, where the gifts are given, but they're not given to elevate any one person over another. I'm a pastor, but I'm not any more important than the people who welcome those who come to the church and they wear our little blue ambassador shirts. We are all the same. We're one body. And Paul is just saddened that people feel the need to elevate themselves over one another. And so read here about communion and about the gifts of the Spirit meant to unify the church and give it strength.